Hello there, Star Wars fans, and welcome to another RebelScum.com video. And today we are reviewing the retro series, The Child. Grogu. We're getting a retro Grogu, finally. This figure is awesome, too. Just like the rest of the retro line. He comes with his accessories, such as he's got the pram, a Lego piece, he's got the frog, and the figure is oddly enough a little large, but we'll get into that. And if you haven't checked out any of the other retro line reviews that we've done, well, this line is awesome. I like these figures a lot. I've always liked the idea of Hasbro coming back and doing modern characters in the vintage style. And the Mandalorian just fits in so well with the original trilogy model of vintage style figures that we had from back in the day, and of course the current retro line where we've gotten some of those characters re-released. And I hope that Hasbro keeps this trend up. I hope that we see Rebels characters and Clone Wars characters in the future, and this figure looks really cool even next to some of your vintage figures, so we'll get right into that. So here he is. There is the child there in the bubble. You've got the pram right there up at the top in its own bubble. There's the child. There's the little stand, which is actually just like a little sand effect. There's the little frog over here. And I love the card back art. You got him riding around in the little pram. On the back here, you've got words and things. Again, hopefully in the future, especially for the non-vintage characters that get released in the retro line, I hope maybe on the card back they actually do just the display of various toys and characters that they're doing. And maybe we'll see that if they do future series. I think they will, because this line has been doing pretty good, I think. So there you go. That's pretty much it for the card. So let's get him out here. And we've got, like I said, there's a little stand here. There's the Lego piece. I mean, that is straight up a Lego piece. It might be a little bit large, but that's a Lego piece. You're not gonna be able to tell me any different. Here is the pram itself, and it can open up. And this is much more like the 6-inch scale pram. This is much larger than the 3 3/4 scale one, and of course I'll compare them and show them side by side. But this thing is very, very big for a 3 3/4 scale piece. But the lid does come off, which I think is very cool. And then, of course, here is the man of the hour, Grogu. There's the child. And his little frog, which is just in like a little like teal-colored, turquoise-colored plastic. Unpainted. His eye isn't painted, as you can see. And it's much like the other frog releases. It might be the same as the 6-inch one, honestly. Just cast in a different plastic. But here he is. He is 3 points of articulation. His head can rotate, and his shoulders can swivel up and down. You got those little shoulders, and he can do the little magic hand thing. With the blow-up popularity of Grogu and, of course, the success of The Mandalorian, when we finally started getting toys and merch for Grogu, it exploded. And then, of course, getting a retro figure only makes sense since they decided to do a retro line. So for comparison, here we have the Vintage Collection single card released, The Child. You can see how it's much, much smaller than the other. And I'm telling you, this is supposed to be 3 3/4 scale. This is much, much smaller. Even the figure itself is much smaller. So this is actually closer to the 6-inch scale size. And I do have the Black Series first release Grogu right here. He's actually even a little bit bigger than the Black Series one. Not by much, but just a little bit, which I find kind of funny. So there you go. There you see how those guys are side by side together. Here he is with the other 3 3/4 scale release of Grogu that came with the Mandalorian in the 2-pack on card. And also for comparison, here he is next to the retro release of Yoda. And Yoda's there with his snake. Grogu's here with his little frog. Here's the 3 3/4 scale Vintage Collection frog. And at least he's like half the size of Yoda. At least he's smaller than Yoda. And you can put him, if you just have to display your figures on stands, you can put young Grogu on a stand as well. He does have one little foothold peg on the right side, and it is the same size peg hole as the original vintage toys and the retro line. They have the same size peg hole on the bottom of their feet so that you can put them on the same stands. For example, this is a, let me read it. It's a Protec stand. Protec, P-R-O-T-E-C-K, not K-H. Protec stand. But there you go. There's little Grogu. There's most likely his father. I mean, it's pretty much assumed that Yoda's his father at this point by fans everywhere. And here he is next to his adoptive dad from the Mandalorian series, the Mandalorian himself with his son. And honestly, side by side, I think they look really awesome next to each other. Again, I feel like he's still just a little too big, but this is supposed to be in the vintage style. This is Hasbro in the minds just trying to get into the heads of the wonderful guys who are at Kenner who captured that magic the first time, that lightning in a bottle, those great ideas, those awesome toys, and thought, how would they do it? And then they put this down for us. And I think, honestly, they did a good job. I've liked every single piece that I've reviewed in this line. Every time I see one, I get excited. Every time Hasbro announces a new piece, I get excited because I think they're very cool, and I like that they're exploring this retro line. And even companies like Super 7 have been capturing that nostalgia excitement by doing all kinds of different properties in the original Kenner style that Star Wars captured that first time. So there you go. Guys, thank you so much for tuning into this review of the retro for the child. Thank you so much for tuning into this review, guys. We'll see you guys later. We'll see you another time. Make sure you subscribe, like, and please comment. Leave us your feedback, guys. Let us know what's something you're excited about to see in the retro line. Maybe there's a Grogu you would want to see in a various scale. I don't know. Do you think he should be bigger or smaller? I think he's too big, but that's just me. And make sure you subscribe, follow us on our social media, and go to rebelscum.com for all kinds of upcoming and awesome news and articles and videos like this one all the time. We've got daily content. We'll see you guys later. We'll see you another time. May the Force be with all of you, you Rebel scum.